Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to our Tales of the Highlands series on Kinlaig. We're back into it now, but in July, and I did exactly what I said I was going to do at the end of the last episode, which was get all the straw baled in this field that we did the harvest in, and I stacked them all up. And I have to say, that bloody baler by Black Sheep Modding, that was it, yeah. It's a game changer for me because you can stack them 4 high, and it basically means that instead of manually loading loads of bales, I've got what 1, 2, 3. Not missed one down there. 4, 5. So I've only got 5 stacks to kind of maneuver, which is pretty easy to do, and it means that from now on we can keep going with manual loading. We don't need to worry about doing auto loading or anything like that, even though that is useful at times, and with the bale physics and everything, it is a bit of a game changer, and it's needed, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that when we get close to them, we start carting them in this episode, they're not going to fly about the place. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I haven't done any field work. I showed you in the previous episode that the ones over there across the road are fine. They're all set, ready to plant and everything. I need to do this field though. This one needs mulching. It'll need some lime, so pH adjustment, and then from there we can set up to plant the crop that we decided to go for, which I haven't actually got a clue about yet. So yeah, we'll come to that decision soon enough. Before we get into that, I just need to quickly go and check the sheep and the cows because, in fact, let's just fly across like this. Yeah, because I haven't actually used the triggers to check them. I know you can check them like this, even though the game's saving, but you know what I mean. I can check them in here like this, and they're fine for feed. I know I give some TMR to the beef stock, and yes, luckily the health has gone back up, productivity. It was the dairy stock that what I was worried about, but the productivity is at 40%, so we're good there. And you can see they are still grazing now. I'm going to have to keep a track of that because I think dairy stock, 5,800 per month, and we've got 14. So let's just say we've got 2 full days there before I need to give them any feed. Hopefully the meadowgrass will spawn in some more. I don't think it will. I'm not sure if it will though, because of the fact we're going to be still in this month. Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on this because the last thing we wanted to do is go down. I also should now put back on animal deaths as long as the accident's not on, because as long as the accident chance is at 0, because I found that that's just a bit unforgiving for someone that's playing the game like I am with not many cows. So yeah, we'll keep it like that and just keep an eye on them. But they look all good. There was one in here that I'll show you in a second. I'll go up to the dairy shed that we needed to inseminate because it hit the 18-month mark. That was unsuccessful, but I have done it again. So they're all right. They're all good. They've got some feed still. So all the animals are spot on. Let's just jump up to here. Quickly just check this out. Very quickly. Right, so this is the one that's the most important. I know I've got the 6 dry cows, and they're all good, but this is the one that I've marked up. I have used the artificial insemination with this one twice, unfortunately. The first one failed, and the second one's now kind of in the works. So fingers crossed. I'll show you in here. It says it failed at the start of July. So yeah, you can see that when I give the one lac test as well, we need to keep an eye on that one. And then this one is the one that's failed. But I have done it again. It has got really good genetics. You can see. So it's fertility is extremely high. It's the best it can be. So we're not going to call this one out like we did with the other 2 that have got really bad genetics, which is realistic, and you probably do that anyway. So we just need to keep track of it, keep going, and eventually, fingers crossed. I mean, this one's got low milk production, which is maybe we could potentially call that one out, but I don't know. I mean, it's got overall good, so not sure. Very confusing. There's definitely a lot to this. And the one that's lac test is 58%. There is actually one in my beef shed that's getting really close. That's at 88%. There you go. This one, 98%. So we should be having calves. In fact, 3 calves soon. It did make me think, should I put some like calf igloos down? But then with the red tape mod, it might not be a good idea because of the the way it's calculating the space of the animals. So before I go into the red tape mod, I just want to point out something. I got a lot of comments in the last video of people saying, like, you're in the menus a lot, just play the game, things like that. And I just want to be honest with everybody. If you don't find it enjoyable to watch this series whilst I'm in all these menus and going over the red tape mod, then there is so many other really good content creators and friends of the channel as well that are playing on Kinlaig currently and just, you know, doing the standard FS playthrough, let's say. But I'm not going to lie to you and say that I'm going to change. I'm not. The way I love to play this game is I want to be in depth. I want it to be more realistic. I mean, we've all given Giants a lot of stick for saying the game's not realistic enough. We want it to be more in depth, more like a simulation. And then when modders go out and make things like the realistic livestock mod or the red tape mod, and yes, it's going to bring in more menus and more management, that style of management simulation, we can't then criticize it and say you're not playing the game. To me, I don't need to be in a tractor or a telehandler or a harvester to be playing this game. This is playing the game to me. So when I'm going through the red tape mod or going through policies and stuff like that, to me, this is the management side. This is the thing I've been craving in the game. I want it to be more in depth, and I'm going to carry on this way. I'm also testing the mod for Oz, so it's going to be a part of the series, which I was very open with at the start. So I just wanted to be clear that if it's not for you, no hard feelings at all from me. I fully understand. I want you as the viewer to enjoy the videos as much as I enjoy playing the game. And if it's not your style or your cup of tea, honestly, I won't be offended by it at all. And I can fully understand if this series is not for you. Doesn't mean that you might not enjoy another series I do, but yeah, it might not be for you. So I just wanted to point that out, that if you are expecting it to change or be different in any way, then yeah, it's not going to be. I'm going to play this way because at the end of the day, this is the way I want Farming Simulator to be. I actually want it to be more realistic, more menus, more management style of information to combine with the actual real-time farming like you would do in a tractor. So I just wanted to make that point clear. So with that being said, let's get into the red tape mod. I've had another evaluation. This is now really good information that Oz has added in. So this is by feedback that we've been given. You can see that we've now got an expected manure spread, our actual manure spread. So we're well over what we should be doing. And then this is the rolling average manure level. So basically that number there should be half of this number. So we are well over this number. This is how much we need to make sure we spread. And we are doing. We're well over it. So that's good news. Crop rotation, we've got no information on. This one now, though, after, again, more feedback is giving us more information, and we can see that this is what it's evaluating. So a big shout out to Oz for putting this in. It just makes it more clear for us. But you can see now the report shows first how many violation hours were recorded. Then for each husbandry, it shows the minimum recorded and the required space per animal. So let's look at cows. You can see that they're required 12 meters squared, 9 meters squared for a sheep. So that's the way it's calculating. Now we can see our beef shed's actually at 49, so well above the 12. Our dairy shed's got loads of pasture space, so it's 382. And the same for our sheep pasture right out in that kind of like hilly section. That's 493, well above. And then this one's 23. So I don't know where I actually got the violation from in the past month for that one, because we're above on everything. So I'm not sure how it calculated that violation originally. Maybe it was because I mentioned it to Oz that it could have been something to do with the transport when I was transporting the animals. But it's not set up to do that. So it's definitely not going to be that. So I'll keep an eye on it and see if it like pings up any more violations, but luckily this time around we didn't get anything. Animal feed's still good, story application's still good. Trees cut, I never thought about this, but in the last episode when I took off them branches, it calculated that because I cut a branch that I actually chopped a tree down. So if you're watching us, I don't know if that's something that can be looked at or modified, but the only thing I did when it comes to chopping trees down in this series so far is this one here on the side of the road. I chopped 2 branches. I remember doing it. I chopped them 2. So it's seeing that I've chopped 2 trees down, which I haven't actually done. It's just the branches, and I think that might cause an issue for players. So I will report this to you in your Discord, but if you are watching, then you can see it firsthand what's going on here. So I think at some point I am going to get a violation for that, a fee basically, or a fine, sorry, that I'm going to get for that. We've got no information in the water contamination because we've not done anything like that. Animal conditions. Now, this is the one where I got hit on, and I actually got -8 points. Now, that's because I had the productivity problem, which I don't know still what caused that, but everything just dropped down. All my health dropped down as well. Luckily, it's gone back up, so fingers crossed it stays, but you can see that it has noticed that, and we've had an impact for it. And yeah, the rest are nothing. This is how fast Oz works, and he's done amazing. I've actually updated the red tape mod today, and we've now got a scheme that will pop up when it snows, and it will give you a spreader, and we're supposed to spread salt on main roads or basically anything with a traffic spline on. So where you see traffic, you will get rewarded doing it, but it's just salt at the moment. I don't think it's I'd have to check this, but I think I just do spreading of salt, and I have to buy the salt myself, but you will be given a spreader and then you get paid for it, and it's only when it's snowing it'll notice and you get an active scheme. I know the snow blowing's not a thing, but I don't know if you at the same time you want to put like maybe a plow on or something that kind of just pushes the snow off to the side. You could do that. Probably would be a good idea, but definitely salt spreading has now been added, which is, I think is a really good thing to add in, and an additional gameplay feature for the winter months. Tax is not moved at all because we're pretty much the same, and you can see from the event log, this is, yeah, what's going on. You can see that I got an £833 fine for violating animal conditions, which is where this 8.33 points happened. You can see that's how it's calculated the fine. So if you got 20 points, it would be 2,000 and so on. And then this is the rest of everything that's gone on. I do love the event log. I think that's a nice feature to add into the mod. We're also going to be getting a help menu as well. Now, I think you might have started working on the help menu. Let's just see if we can spot it. Yeah, so you have got a help menu. It's early days, so obviously this will all get filled out. There might be some more sections to it. Who knows, or added in. Yeah, definitely will be added in, but he did want to make clear that his latest update, he has started work on a help section, which I know a lot of people will find useful. So that's where we are with the red tape mod. This episode, we're going to be just bringing in the bales, keeping it steady. There's a few things I want to actually talk about. One of them I've already said about the series type, but the next one I want to talk about is Llama 2026, so January. Big shout out to Farmer Cop, who's been setting up another community meetup at Llama, and it's all set up. There's tickets selling. I think there's only about 15 tickets left, and it's after on the January the 14th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. There's a community meetup at a hotel. I'll put a link in the video description. Now, it will cost £10 for a ticket, but I do want to be honest with everyone, and I don't know if Farmer Cop would like me saying this, but he is funding majority of this, and it's a loss, basically. I think there's 90 tickets available, each costing a tenner. With each ticket, you will get a T-shirt, 5 raffle tickets, and dinner. So I think for a tenner, that's not bad. And there's drinks available, but you have to purchase them at the place. And it's just a community meetup. There's a few beers flowing if you want to have some. You know, it's supposed to be a good event. And obviously, with going around Llama all day, it's pretty cool. Last year it was really good. I enjoyed it. So if you are up for going and you're in the UK and you are going Llama and you want to go meet some content creators, meet other like-minded FS players, feel free to check the link in the video description. Like I said, there's only 15 tickets left. Me and Beanie are going to be there. But yeah, it's cost a lot of money to set up, and Farmer Cop's definitely making a bit of a loss on this. But it's not about that. It's about bringing all the community together. So please, if you want to go to it, feel free to grab the last few tickets out of the 90. And I still think for a tenner, it's pretty much a bargain because, you know, you get a T-shirt, 5 raffle tickets where you might win something, and dinner and drinks. And last year, I remember, to be honest, it was probably one of the best moments of last year. I give away a Hori wheel setup, the full setup pack, and there was a young lad that was with his dad and came to say hello to me and Beanie, and he won the raffle, and I had to give it away, and it was him that actually got it in the end, and his face lit up. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, give something else away that's pretty cool and make someone else's day. On that note, let's get some farming done, because I know what people are like. Stop sitting in menus and chatting. Yeah, we're going to go take this down. We're going to use this trailer because it's obviously not got loads of holes in. I think it will fit the 5 on. We should only need to do one trip, and I might get the mulch out, but I'm selling the mulch we've currently got because 2.8 meters I think it's sitting at, and whilst it's great and probably realistic, it's like a topper. I think we need to get something a little bit bigger because that was it was a bit painful last time. Let's just say that. I didn't mind it. It just wouldn't make good content because I'd be there for ages. So it was good for something to do, like when I'm not recording, basically. Now I'm also getting used to these wheel loaders because I feel like with bale carting especially, and loading and unloading, you have to be really precise. Yeah, I need to line up properly and get a bit of practice. I am improving. It is getting better, but still not perfect with this. Right, so we've got a 3 there that I might just... No, we'll pick it up and we'll just put it... Just trying to think, should we put it at the front on that side? I mean, we should get 5 on anyway, but... Yeah, let's put this at the front. Should make a good job. Now, what we want is we want it to not fly about the place. I mean, so far the bales aren't going too crazy, are they? And we also want to make sure that this wheel loader will not tip over with 4 bales. I mean, the good thing about telehandlers is... What the hell? Is it auto load? No! We don't want it to be auto load. Oh man, I hope it's not auto load. And if it is, I hope it's one that I can turn off. I think it might be something to do with the universal auto load. So let's just go Control Shift R, and then Shift I. It's crazy, isn't it? When you want to do manual loading, it starts auto loading, which is not what we want. Right, that is on. That looks happy. So if we just place that and say that was a practice one. Put that there. And then now, hopefully, if we just pick up these 2, it should sit on the top. Fingers crossed. Oh, God. I'm either going to have to jump out the game and take the universal auto load mod off because I want a manual load, and this is just completely messing that up. So yeah, bear with me. I'm gonna take off the universal auto load mod because for some reason it's working even when I don't want it to, and it's probably something I'm doing. Let's just change. Yeah, it's all on bale, and I can't change that. Material type all. Yep. And yeah, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to jump out, save it, and take it off. So it picks up 3 bales at least. And I've removed the mod, and it's no longer in a world of its own, which is good news. There might have been a way in game to stop it from auto loading in, but I just thought it would be easier to remove the mod, and it seems to have worked, so I'm very happy with that at least. So now we can properly stack these up. I want to go 4 high. It's going to be a challenge, but they're the way they're dropping out, so we need to make sure if that's the way they're dropping out, that's the way we load them on, basically. And I might need a bigger grab for this, because that top bale does not look secure, does it? I think it doesn't help that I'm using a wheel loader, I will be honest. I think a telehandler is much better for this, because you can see it already wants to tip up. Even though these bales are the biggest ones, I went with the biggest size. Might be a good idea to go down a size, but we would get more bales. I mean, it is picking up, it's just the turning's not as good. Oh, God. Yeah, the turning's not as good, basically, because the front wheels are the ones that turn. So when the weight's at the front, it's tipping the back end and not really making it turn very well. So think at some point we need to go with a, yeah, an older style. Let's just say an older style telehandler. But there we go. At least it did it. We know we can do it. It's just a bit sketchy. So let's strap that down just so we know for certain that she's going to stay there. And we'll go get 4 more. So what we all thinking about the Year 2 Season Pass? I have not done any content on it. I got the information last week and was going to do some. I was really busy Monday, Tuesday, and yeah, I didn't put anything out. But I think, like, looking at it, I know a lot of people have said like Spain, Italy, but I've got a feeling it looks like South America. It looks more South America to me than Spain and Italy. So I'm going to go with that. That's going to be my guess. I think we're having a DLC that's, yeah, or a map basically that's in South America. Now, if you've noticed as well, the original price of the Year 1 Season Pass when it launched was about €45. This is about 35, so €10 cheaper. And we're not going to be getting a 3rd quarter pack. So it's going to be 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, and then a 4th quarter big expansion. Now I'm hoping that is because, you know, it's going to be the last, technically like little DLC, DLC pack, except the expansion at the end, that brings us into FS28. So if they're going to use the time to focus more on FS28, then I'm all for it. But yeah, just to confirm, the Season 2 pass is not going to be 4 quarters. It's going to be 3 technically. So you'll get 1st quarter a DLC, 2nd quarter a DLC, 3rd quarter no DLC, but then in the 4th and final quarter you'll get your expansion, which looks to me like a South American map. So I'm expecting maybe some like different types of crop, like coffee for example, South America. We could also get some animal types. It made me think the other day, like one thing that I've never actually heard too much of people requesting, but turkey farms. Like, we could have turkeys in the game and breed them out like for meat production. So I don't know if that's a big thing in South America, but it did make me think like turkey farms. That's something that could be added in, and it wouldn't be out of place, would it, if we had like, yeah, turkeys, because it's a big thing, especially around Christmas time. Right, so that just needs to sit there. Then bales at the back end are moving on their own, which I don't like. Makes me nervous. And I think we got 2 left. We're definitely not going to fit 5 on. If I didn't have this rail at the back, I probably could have plonked one down, couldn't I? So maybe I can adjust that and take that off, because there is a way, because there is an option to adjust that. So I might take that back one off just so I can fit 5 on there. But we'll have to come back. We'll strap this down and put these away first. I mean, that's a strange setup for the straps. So I'm just going to make it look a little bit more even. That'll do. Right, let's drive this back first, and then we'll unload them and stack them away.
This voice inside my head isn't dead. I think it's growing. Soon we will be one and the same. I've been going to the racetrack. Spent all my money on the dog in the bed. I put my heart into an 8-track. How about that? My life was perfect, now it's starting to crack. Oh no. You blame it on the recipe. Do what you want to me, 'cause I could never let it go. You tossed my body out to sea, claim it was a tragedy, but I think everyone
I'm happy, but a little bit nervous. They look like the ground's just not level. So I probably should level out this ground. It's because of all these bits and bobs, these stones and stuff. So, yeah. But they're not moving, are they? Too much. Anyway, every now and again they're bobbing about the place, but I feel like they're better than what they were. Can you see that I used the... it's called the massy twine, but basically it's just red. I prefer it on the straw bales and hay bales. But these are the ones that I spawned in at the start to start me off. Ones with the white, twine on, or the bale string, whatever you want to call it. And then, we'll use that going forward. It could change it up. There's like the blue option, the white option. So I don't mind really, as long as it matches somewhat the bale that I'm using. I think I used the Massey, or I used New Holland or something like that. I'd have to check. But it's done, and that's the main thing. I didn't actually take the trailer back out to get the two loads, or basically the last 8 bales. I used the load. Yeah, I used the JCB wheel loader. I am going to look at swapping that out soon. I have got an alternative that I think might be perfect for this series, so we'll keep an eye on that, definitely. But there's a couple of things I want to do before I end the episode. I know it's just not been too hectic in this one. We've not done loads. But I do want to go and take the... Yeah, I do want to go take the topper. That's not that. That's our power harrow. It's over here. Yeah, I want to take this topper or a mulcher. It's so small. It's tiny. 2.8 meters. We're going to get something a little bit better than that. But there's another thing that I want to do that I actually missed and overlooked. And I've seen a few people point it out to me. And I thought, if I've overlooked it, maybe someone else has. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to showcase this. But basically, with the fences or the walls and hedges and stuff like that we get in the DLC, we have some options to place down, as you've seen me do. I mean, these ones here don't come with the base gate, with the way this map's set up. I have placed a few of them down myself. But there is alternatives to it, which look pretty good, like broken wall sections and stuff. So I thought what we'd do is just mix it up a little bit. We'll find first the walls that give us the option. There's one here, but if we change the segment, you can see we've actually got fences in there, but also like a wall section that's kind of like just not very good, not in a good shape. So I was thinking, like, if we just put a few gaps and bits and bobs around. I don't know if there's one for that segment of wall. I'll have to check. So let's just put it here for now. And go from there. So we want this. So if I put it like there and like that, you can see. Now I've got this broken wall segment to it. So yeah, I completely missed that. Almost embarrassingly. But it does look pretty good, doesn't it? And if you put them in, like in staggered areas, it'll look pretty good. So I'll do that at some point. I'll like mix them up, but for now we'll leave it there. But let's just check this wall as well, because there's 2 types. I know we've got the hedges. Let's have a look at the segment of the hedges, because I know there's smaller ones, or it almost looks like they need to grow. And then again, you've got the gates and stuff like that. But where is there a segment for this one? Yeah, there is. There's a nice gate to it, or entrance. There we go. So we have got segments to this, but it's a gate again. So there isn't any broken wall segments, but there is a nice gate to that. Like I like the look of that. That looks pretty cool. So we could use that at some point. But yeah, this wall doesn't have any broken segments to it, but this one clearly does, and it looks good. I like it. So yeah, just wanted to point that out because I completely overlooked it. Anyway, let's take this and swap it out for something a bit better. Now, I did check to see if I had the manual attachment mod on by buying gaming, and I didn't. So the backing up and attaching to like that trailer that what was the header trailer, wasn't it? Was to do with the manual attachment mod, which is really strange because I didn't think it did that in 22. So that has been added in, but at the same time, as it's been added in by Buying Gaming. So, yeah, I don't know if I've missed it in 22, which I doubt because, you know, I used it quite a lot. But yeah, it's an option, I guess, for some trailer types where we can back up to it and attach, which is really weird because I've always wanted it to be like that when you're using a hitch, because, you know, you can hitch up to an object in cab and then you can, yeah, you know, you have to get out, put your hydraulic hoses in, then you put your PTO in and stuff like that. And sometimes, and you really do need to get out for 3-point linkage in a way, because sometimes, you know, it's much easier to get out of cab to do it because you have to line them up and all that good stuff. And sometimes you have to adjust the way that they're situated because they might be too like inwards, or, you know, you might need to send them outwards, the two arms of the 3-point linkage, so not the top arm, the side arms. So I get that we need to get out majority of the time, but there is situations like when you're hooking up to a trailer, you know, the hook hitch on that is something that we can attach to it in cab. So I'd like it to be like that personally, but it's confusing because it's like they've added it in, but for things that wouldn't be stuff that we'd stay in cab for, because that was definitely not a hook hitch. So I don't know, unless I'm missing something, which you know, there's a high probability I am. Anyway, let's just sell this. What are we going to get for it? 11,500. So that's that done. Up to 56,000. Wait a minute, let's just check something. Let's have a look at our tax. So yeah, our taxable income's now 65. It's gone down, but we are going to spend more money. So yeah, that's irrelevant. Let's go into the store and just pick up something that's a lot bigger than that, because we have got the juice under the bonnet, and I'm finding that that's the tractor that I keep going to just because it's got the most horsepower, and it makes you know, easy work of most of the jobs. Yeah, and then at least in the next episode, I can either skip through and make sure I do the mulching and the spreading, so the lime, so when we can start planting in. We're going to have to cut grass again at some point. Probably make some silage and bring it into the bunker. I think that might be the best bet. Or we can even make some more hay. I definitely think silage, though, we're going to need more of. In fact, we probably need more silage and hay. So that's the one we just sold. This one's 4.7, which I actually think is probably the best option currently. We've got a 6-metre one there. I don't think there's anything except this. I mean, 30 metres for that. But I almost feel like that's more of a... It's definitely not a mulcher, is it? It's more of a... Like, even that's not a mulcher. Not really. It looks more like a harrow of some sorts. And then these ones, again, aren't that big. I mean, 4.7 is not a bad size. 6 metre be good. 130 horsepower. And that looks more like a mulcher. So why don't we go with that one? I think that's probably the best bet. There we go. And I did put on as well the second-hand mod. So second-hand brand new, let's call it. So if I do want to get like a harvester and improve from this TX62 and move up to this TC590, which I think looks really good. I mean, I like it like that, to be honest. Oh, I don't know. Do we go with the old decal or the new? Let's just go with the new because it looks good. And there is a gold edition, but I definitely don't want that. Animations. We'll go with full animations. It doesn't really make a difference, but I think that's probably the best bet. And if we go find used, we can tell it to go on a search for it, and we can get it second-hand, you see, a lot cheaper. So I think that's something we need to do. We won't do it yet, but we will do it at some point, definitely. Well, this is pretty cool because you can attach... So I can attach it both ways or attach something to it. So that might come in handy if we want to do like a more efficient pass where we do two things in one pass. Could be like we mulch and then maybe cultivate after or something like that, which if you'd need to. Especially if you haven't got a direct seeder. Because if you haven't got a direct seeder, it's alright mulching, but you've got to cultivate after so you can plant in. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it's definitely going to make things a lot easier for us. 6 meters from 2.8 is a decent step up. Just got to keep an eye on our money though. 39,800. We're not going to get a tax bill because we're nowhere near anything like a profit. But we still need money to survive and get through and buy everything we're going to need. So, yeah, we can't get rid of everything, can we? I am going to make another entrance down this side of the field. I feel like every time I want to get into the field, it's... Yeah, I feel like every time I want to get into the field, this end, I have to drive too far. I have to drive up, so it would be good to get maybe another entrance. Just trying to think, maybe like down this section here off the road would be good, or there. I just have to think of the angles because it can become a bit of a pain. So I think that's probably the most level. I think let's put it here. Let's let's go for this section. Let's just take that out for now, and then after, you know, I can put something in, like maybe that wooden gate. It looks pretty nice, so we can put that in. Yeah, we'll plonk that wooden gate in. Let's just check this works. There we go. Happy days. So everything's mulching, and it's going to be an easier job for us and a more efficient job. So I'll leave that there, and we either do that in the next episode, or I'll get it done and we'll jump in and we'll keep moving forward. Have we got any floating cows yet? It looks like... Is that one floating a little bit up there? Might be floating a tad. Yeah, it is. It's a shame about this. It's definitely a Giants issue. Definitely a Giants issue. But oh well. It's not too much of a problem, is it? It's, you know, at least we can reset it, you know, if it gets too crazy. I also need to check as well, because I have updated the realistic livestock mod, and I think because of that, I've gone back to like the default values for producing manure and slurry. And if that is the case, and I'll need to adjust that back because I've noticed we're not making as much as we were before. So I want it to be a heavy focus in this series where I'm using a lot of manure, a lot of slurry, and almost like relying on that for every kind of crop, for every field, even if it's a grass field, you know, or an arable field. I'd love to have the option to put that on each field as we get going. Let's just check the nitrogen values. You can see these two are good because of the slurry that I put on that and the muck that I put on that. But I'd like to set these ones up. Now that I've put, you know, with this one, especially like these two, they've had pH, they've been mulched and everything like that. You know, before we plant, we could put some muck down or even some slurry down on these fields. Same with these two that are combined into this big one. We could do the same. So everything's at a decent set, maybe like around 80 kilograms per hectare. And then on top is like your natural fertilizer, as you fertilize, like spraying and everything like that. So, yeah, I think that's got to be the option. So I need to go in again and adjust the values because, yeah, they've reset back to what they were. I'd love that to be a kind of separate mod that keeps it. Or, you know what I would love? I'd love Arrow to add it into the settings. Like how we've got food scale at 200%. It'd be nice to have like an output, like an output scale. So not the input, which is the food. It'd be good to have an output scale to do with like manure and slurry, so it's producing more. I think that'd be a really useful tool because I know a lot of people from comments and stuff and agreeing with me in Discord are on the same kind of wavelength, which is they'd like to get more muck, more slurry, like it to go further, like to be more active with that in game. And the reason we're not is because we're just not producing enough, and you have to have so many cows and animals to get the numbers you need for the fields you've got. So that's why I change it. That's why I adjust it. So we've just got the option to go out and do more muck spreading and slurry spreading. So I'll have a look at that now. We'll jump through into July day 2, and we'll see if we can prep in the other fields. I'm looking at the time as well, and it's normally around planting season. So we could start working at getting some crops in the ground around August, because I think we can do canola then. Wheat is September, so yeah, we could have a look. I mean, currently we can plant carrots, a winter cover crop, if we wanted to put that in already. That's pretty much it. We can't, can we? Because everything else is a harvest. So I think we need to probably set the fields, get a bit more muck, and maybe skip through into August. That could be an idea. I'll get the field mulched and spread with lime, and then we'll move into August for the next episode and have a look at, you know, what we're getting with the red tape mod. But I'm also going to make some adjustments to the realistic livestock mod again, so I can get some more slurry and muck, and maybe we can go around the fields and put some slurry down and muck down before we start planting in. I think that might be the wisest decision moving into August. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me. It really does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.